Mostar is a true hidden gem of Europe, rising from the ashes of a brutal war in 1993 that left the city devastated and destroyed. But over time, it has been rebuilt, and I called Mostar home for 3 months. Here are my thoughts of living in the historical capital of Erzegovina. As I'm sure many of you haven't heard of Mostar, I hadn't either. I actually came across it when I was living in Montenegro and I wanted to get out. So I went on Google and basically asked Google, hey, where should I go that's near me? And Mostar came up. And when I saw the pictures of Mostar, it was one of the most beautiful places I had seen, and I'd never heard much about it. And trust me, when I arrived in Mostar, I was blown away. It's one of the most beautiful places which has this huge river going through the middle of it and basically two sides of it. So you have the Muslim side and then you have the Christian side. So in 1993 there was a war. The Croatians came and started attacking Mostar, which was basically the Muslim population. So it's fascinating. You have the call to prayer on one side and then the bells on the other, which makes it a really interesting place. The population's probably only about 100,000 people, so it is very tiny. But the great thing with that is it's never really busy even during tourist season. There's tons of different things in Mostar in terms of building and architecture. So a lot of it was destroyed in the war, but it's been rebuilt. But you'll see all over the place, probably one every 10 buildings of just destroyed, ruined buildings. You'll see shrapnel on the walls from artillery rounds. You'll see bullet holes everywhere. Where I lived I discovered was on the exact front line. And a lot of the documentaries that you'll see in Mostar, you'll see actually the building I was living in. And my building was directly across a blown out building, as well as an abandoned bank, which was used, they call it sniper tower, because that's where all the snipers were. So it's very fascinating with history. You'll be walking around the place and you can see the stories of how someone was basically held in a defensive position somewhere fighting another group over there, and you can kind of see the bullet holes where they've been trading fire. So to me, it felt like a very safe place. At nighttime, it can feel a little bit sketchy, and I don't think it wasn't unsafe, but it's really eerie because it's such a small population, and at nighttime everything closes very early and the lighting's pretty terrible. So you'll be walking down these dimly lit roads, and especially with all the destroyed buildings that you'll see occasionally, it just gives you this really weird feeling. Never felt like I was in danger, but I didn't feel particularly safe either. But generally in daytime, I have no issues at all. I didn't even see petty crime, nothing like that at all. I'm sure it exists, but it's definitely a safe place in my opinion. But despite safety, it's a really raw place. And what I mean by that is, picture yourself going to the grocery store. You're going in, you're buying your groceries, everything's good, and then you go to the counter and the lady is there, there's an old lady there, she's having a cigarette, scanning your goods. It's that kind of place, and you don't really get places like that anymore. It's just a weird, cool kind of like raw environment. And that's pretty usual everywhere, in Mostar at least. But hey, if you don't like smoking, it's probably not the right place for you. Now let's talk about the prices. It is so cheap, like ridiculously cheap. You'll get a sandwich for 2 to 3 euros, a big massive sandwich at a restaurant. You'll get a drink, let's say Coca-Cola for 50 cents to $1, a beer, same price. It is very cheap to actually live there. And the food portions are huge. Like you'll get like a massive plate full of, I typically go for the more Western options, and I will talk about Bosnian food in just a moment. But you'll get a massive plate of like chicken and everything for 5 euros. And the value is just insane. It's really hard to finish it all. And especially for me, I only eat typically once a day and it's huge portions, and I was even struggling. So that says quite a lot about the portion sizes. Now let's talk about Bosnian food. Sorry to any Bosnians that see this, it's not the most exciting cuisine, right? The pastries are really nice. They do a lot of like spinach and stuff and pastries, and they're very lovely. But in terms of the actual cuisine itself, it's more hearty, I would say. But it's basically like sausages within like you could say like a pita bread or like a bread, and that's it. It's very famous. I tried it a couple of times, didn't mind it, wasn't bad, wasn't great. But yeah, I just don't think it's the most exciting thing in the world. That's probably why you don't really hear about the cuisine worldwide. The only times I've really seen it is in Dubai, and Dubai has pretty much everything. Accommodation, dirt cheap, depending on the season though. If it gets to high season, because it's very small population, there's not many buildings, the prices can go up. Looking 700 euros on Airbnb for a place. And no matter where you really are in Mostar, it's pretty walkable, except for if you go really far north or really far south, then it's a bit more difficult. Driving culture is great there, it's not a problem. Everyone typically follows the rules, they drive within the lines, so you won't have an issue with that either. So let's talk about some things I don't like about Mostar. And there is a few of them. Number one is it's boring. It is a small population, there's nothing to really do except for eat, walk, and that's about it. You're not going to really be doing anything. There's no beach, it's inland, there's no cities close by that are interesting in terms of tourism or stuff to do. You're pretty much in the middle of nowhere, so it is very boring. There is no shopping. Shopping's pretty much out the window. You've got small little local stores, that's about it. Sticking with shopping is Sunday, pretty much everything's closed. If it's not closed on Sunday, everything closes early at night as well. So you're talking 6, 7 o'clock, everything's pretty much shut. Restaurants will be open, but they won't stay open late either. By 11 p.m., everything is closed. Another con would definitely be that the food is pretty average, the Western food in particular. It's not bad, it's not great. On that side of Europe, the Balkans in particular, I've lived in a couple of Balkans countries and visited quite a few, is Western food is typically not done well in any of them. There are exceptions, but Bosnia is definitely not one of them. I just gave up on anything that had burgers. That was no-go. Burgers definitely not good. Pizzas were okay. Shawarma, that's a no-go. I know that's typically not Western, but international food I'm talking more. It's just, it wasn't great. The best thing I ever found was chicken schnitzel, which I got for €6, and that was phenomenal. Customer service isn't terrible. It's not great either. It's pretty much a 50-50. People do their jobs and sometimes have a smile. But yeah, it's nothing wrong there. But you might be wondering, so I was there for 3 months. Why didn't I stay? So I didn't stay because I had some stuff to attend to in another country, which was Tbilisi. So I had to leave. I actually wanted to fly back, but then life happened and I ended up getting stuck in Tbilisi for an extra year. But I will go back, and the thing I will tell you is if you're interested or kind of excited about Mostar, I wouldn't suggest it for living. 1% of expats would probably fit the criteria of living there. But I do recommend every single person visit Mostar because it is one of the most unique places you will ever go into the world, and it is beautiful. It's a stunning place. It's really interesting. I can't stress that enough. So I'll be back there, I'll live there for another 3 months, but not long term. But if you want an option, which I do recommend to live long term, click this video right here.